wanted to kind of give you some context for this show.
Yeah.
So we're talking about how we've built it over the past few months, and this is what it's about.
Yeah.
We've already mentioned some of these folks, but for me it was, okay, what can we say about Navarre today? Because people who drive through it, of course they see the beach. Everybody knows the beach. We love the beach.
Yeah.
Most beautiful one in the country, right? If not the world, right? Gorgeous beach. Everybody sees it. What they might not realize is the quality of people in Navarre. You've talked about the veterans. You've talked about the military folks. Huge part of that. Robert Reyes from Stripes, incredible veteran with great stories. That's a huge part of it. But, Doc, we got NFL players. Multiple ones. Michael Carter, Jordan Jefferson, right? Like, you got these guys who are playing on Sundays, doing incredible things right out of Navarre High School.
That's right.
You've got legends here, right? With Rick Landreth. I know you know Jacob Landreth. This was his uncle, passed away a couple years ago. He is portrayed in the movie Black Hawk Down.
Wow.
Right? Knowing that you had somebody, a special operations soldier, at that level, right, in those big operations, growing up right down here. One of the Holly Boys, right? Like, incredible. And then entrepreneurs. We've already mentioned this, right? Kevin Lucas is one of those. He's in the medical field. We've already talked about several of these folks. This is Navarre. In addition to the beach, the beautiful stuff, the people are amazing.
Before Sophie and I moved to Navarre, we actually started our life together in Niceville.
Yeah.
And Niceville's a similar kind of community. You get all the Aglin officers there and all the military personnel.
Absolutely.
So we are very similar to Niceville, that same just wholesome community.
Yes.
You know that your neighbors are heroes.
Yes.
And that's when I'm on the floor of the legislature and I'm talking about protecting the military, I think of Colonel Black.
Yeah.
I think of
Angel of Death.
Alice. I've actually mentioned her many times.
I got to tell you
on the floor of the Florida House, and it gets a good laugh because her title is the Angel of Death, and I think on a bill that we'll talk about shortly. I said, guys, please vote yes for my bill, because the last time you sent me back to Navarre with bad news for the Angel of Death, you notice I came back with a shattered kneecap. Please don't make me give her more bad news. And sure enough, they passed our bill unanimously. But we'll talk about that bill in a minute.
I want to tell you one quick story about Colonel Black. So I went overseas last year. Guess who was the last person that I saw before I got on the plane?
Who's that?
Her,
Wow.
Colonel Black. Guess who was the first person I saw when I got back?
You're kidding me.
Base Commander Colonel Black.
Wow.
She was the first. She was down there at the plane. We'd been gone for over 6 months, right? Like, you're missing your families, you're missing everything, just missing hot dogs and hamburgers, right? Like, you haven't had American food for 6.5 months, you haven't seen America for 6.5 months, and you get off the plane. The same person, your base commander, the same person who said, "Go give them hell, we got your back, we're going to be here when you get home," she was there, right? And I was like, "Oh, it's Colonel Black." Like, and she shook every one of our hands as we got off the plane, saying, "Welcome home, you did a great job." That's a base commander. That's a hero. Right here in Navarre. Lives right down the street, right? Like, that's who we are, Doc. And so my privilege and my joy in this show is every Thursday I get to come off work, come here and sit down with folks like you that make Navarre what it is.